Doki Doki Literature Club Plus is free from the Epic Games Store until 15th of February 2024. I'd heard of this game, but I didn't know much about it before I played. All I knew is that it wasn't quite what it seemed to be. Now, I've got so much to say about this game, but I won't. Because talking too much about it will kind of spoil the whole experience for you. Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's been streamed like a million times, with full playthroughs everywhere. But I don't know if you've seen them, and I ain't going to spoil it for you if you haven't. I don't want to ruin what actually turned out to be a really fantastic journey of discovery for me. From all appearances, this looks like an anime dating sim set in a college, but there's signs that it's not quite what it seems. First off, there's warnings that the game isn't for children and those that are easily disturbed. And you have to tick a checkbox to say you've accepted the highly disturbing imagery. Now, this isn't all about nudity or adult content, but after having played this for like 8 hours or so, I can tell you that I do think the warning is necessary. I have friends that I would recommend that they don't play this game. Take the warning seriously, is what I'm saying, I guess. The game does start off with this dating sim. You're in a writing club and you do have to pick words to include in poems, with basically the idea that you're going to impress one of the 4 girls that are in the class. However, after about an hour or so of playing this, the game changes completely. And that's where I'm going to stop explaining the gameplay, I think, really, because I don't want to spoil the rest of the narrative here. I will tell you that it's imaginative, delightfully clever, and it rewards just exploration and trying different things. Closing the game, for example, is part of the game. Let me give you one example that I don't think is a spoiler at all, and the chances are you won't even come across it. The footage won't reflect what I'm saying, and you'll understand why. I stopped recording this game after about an hour and a half where the game changed, and I knew that I didn't want to put spoiler stuff into the video. However, I still had OBS Studio running, which is what I use to record the game and what a lot of people use to stream. At a point later on in the game, one of the characters in the game notes that I'm recording the footage and says hello to the audience. I assume that the game checks the processes that are running on your machine, and if it finds certain ones, there's code that will bring up like a little message or something. It's kind of creepy, to be fair, and I think for some people it could be a bit unnerving. The plus part of the giveaway, as I understand it, provides quite a lot of new features. There's collections of unlockable pictures, unlockable music, more narrative and unlockable side quests, as well as an easier way to experiment with the game is what I'm going to say, to not spoil it, because previously you kind of had to mess about with your own hard drive. These extra side quests deal with mental health issues in a much more straightforward way. Straightforward sometimes a bit too much, because it kind of feels like a lecture sometimes to me, but ultimately they give quite good advice on the consequences of mental health conditions for those that have them and those that want to support them, even if they say quite a lot of the same things a lot of times. Some of these stories are quite sweet at points, but I don't know if that's enough to really warrant the over-explanation beforehand. I also wonder if the people that could benefit the most from these are the very people that would heed the warnings at the start of the game and not play. And rightly so, because the game's really brutal about these things before you even get access to these stories. Doki Doki has much more in common with a game like the Stanley Parable than it does a dating sim. I mean, this isn't really a dating sim. So if that appeals, I can tell you that the first hour or so when you're just playing a dating sim, which wasn't really my cup of tea, is actually well worth the time investment. I love this game. I'm still playing it and I really do want to get to 100% completion. Not because I'm a completionist or anything, but because every time I make a little bit of progress, more story is unlocked, more surprises are thrown up by the game. I also just really enjoy messing about with things and trying weird stuff and finding out that the developers had anticipated what I was going to do and they surprised me with something new. If you're looking for an anime dating sim, don't play this. This isn't one. If you're someone suffering from mental health issues, I would be quite cautious about playing this game. There's a button to check for spoilers at the beginning of the game, so it explains all of the concerns that might be an issue for you. So do check those and make sure you're going to be alright playing this game. Like I said, it can be pretty brutal at times. For those of you wanting a different gaming experience who aren't concerned that the content warnings are going to be an issue for them, I wholeheartedly recommend this. I've not been this delighted by a game for ages. I'm so glad I played this. That's all for me for now, because I can't say much more without spoiling the game. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.